And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is SiSi's BEC podcast, and we have the Phantom of the Opera.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa,
Oops, sorry. Keep going.
ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re. I fucked up.
All right, I'm sorry,
Nah,
dude.
man,
No, that was actually really
No,
good.
it's
So
good.
what's
Really,
going on,
just the voice
everybody?
of an angel.
We
Thanks,
we
man.
got the same crew from last night. We did pretty good
Yeah.
with that special for the we did a podcast on the draft, which
Yeah.
was kind of cool. I had a lot of fun doing that.
A lot of good intakes.
And then now tomorrow you're on the show. We're doing a live draft of our draft
I'm on the show now. For tomorrow.
tomorrow too. Yeah.
I'm here for the draft.
You don't want to do the draft
I
here?
guess we're doing the draft here.
We're doing it live, Rich.
Jesus.
We're doing it live, and then we're posting.
All
we're,
pressure.
yeah,
That makes so much more
No
pressure.
pressure.
We're posting
already,
it. We're posting it immediately after, just to just so people know.
It's already a high pressure moment. and
Dude.
We're making it more high pressure now.
Super
huh?
high pressure.
Now everybody's going to know you fucked up. No.
Dude, that's amazing. Oh my god. But what about you, Sean? How we doing, man?
Good, man. Just chilling, man. About to be in California next week.
I
So,
know, dude. I'm so jealous.
But,
Listen, before you go, you gotta bang out those videos.
oh, 100%.
All right.
Be
all
done tonight, actually.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All four? No shot.
3. Oh, this one too? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why
we'll,
not?
just, we'll just bang them all out.
Yeah.
Make sure that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Tonight we have two guests. I'm actually really excited because one of these guys, I mean, Sean, at least you know this for sure, but Richie doesn't know about this, so we'll fill him in a little bit. I've been chasing this UFC interview for I truly can't even tell you how long. It was probably I don't know. It was probably almost 8 months now, because we started up in January, and that was with the NY guys, and then we moved back, and then it was funny because on April 13th, I'm actually in the city. I'm in Williamsburg. I'm looking out into the city, and I look on the TV, and this fucking guy is fighting. Matt is literally fighting on TV, and he's a contracted UFC fighter. So the guy is definitely gonna kick
Steamrolla.
Frevola. So
Frevola, yeah.
Frevola.
Frevola. Yeah.
We should probably pronounce it right.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say. I'm just gonna say Matt.
Yeah, just keep it.
I'm just gonna keep it real simple and casual. And we have the green light to call him, right? We have the green light. I know we're a
Yeah.
couple minutes late, but let's
Yeah,
give him a
we're-
call.
We're a little late giving him a call, but I think
All right, we'll try it
I think
out.
he's still around, so I'm just gonna give him a ring right now.
Let's do it.
It's a tough division that he's in.
UFC. What division is he in?
He's in lightweight.
Who's the
Khabib,
head?
Tony Ferguson, Dustin
Khabib?
Poirier. Yeah, Khabib. That's that division. Khabib.
Yo, is this Matt?
Yeah, what's up?
Matt, this is CC's BEC podcast, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. What's going on?
Of course, man. Not much. Just had a solid night of training. Now I'm relaxing.
Perfect, dude. And you got a couple minutes to talk, right? I know you're training for your next fight. You got coming up in a couple weeks, right? October or
Yeah, it's about like 6-7 weeks out.
where are you training right now?
I train mainly out in Garden City at Longo and Wyben, and then I get my jiu-jitsu in at Sarah BJJ, and then I do some strength and conditioning at Acceleration Sports Training. So
Wow, you're a busy man.
yeah, man, yeah,
He's
it's
a
good
beast.
life.
He's a beast. Man.
Oh yeah, Matt. I'm sorry.
Steamrolla.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry. I
got a
didn't let you
couple
know,
guys
but
here, yeah.
listen, we got a couple guys on the show with you tonight. We got Richie. He's my one of my friends from a really long time, and then we got Sean. You know Sean, obviously. Richie wants
Yeah,
to say
what
hi.
up?
How's it going,
What up,
man?
bro?
How you doing, bro?
But
Going good, guys.
so you got to tell me, man, what was it like to fight the other night at April 13th? Turner.
It was good, man. You know, Turner was he was a tough guy, a big lightweight who had a lot of hype on him, and it was awesome to go in there and
You shut that shit down.
Yeah, you know, execute my game plan, and you know, I would have liked to get the finish. I'm always in there fighting to finish my opponent, but we did what we had to do to get a win and secure another contract with the UFC. So it was all good.
How does that feel, man? I can't lie. Just thinking about it, like I sit at home and I literally watch. I watched you. It was really fun. I was just telling the story before we called you. I literally watched you win that fight in Williamsburg right before going out. And actually, that same night, I met. I don't know if you're a big fan of Game of Thrones, but I met the guy Hodor.
Oh hell yeah!
Dude, he was literally DJing. He was DJing the nightclub that I went to. It was the coolest thing ever. It was
amazing.
it was trending. It was trending online, but honestly, watching you fight was awesome because I knew at that time I was like, dude, I'm gonna get to interview this guy, and I just can't wait to talk about that moment. But
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah, no. So tell me, like 7 weeks out before a fight, I'm actually not sure. Is Pena taller than you? Is same height, same size?
No, he's another tall guy. He's another 6'3" southpaw. So he's a
What do
tall,
you-
skinny guy.
So what do you do? Like what do you do like to prepare 7 weeks out for someone that's a southpaw that's a little bit taller than you?
I'm looking. I got like a good tall southpaw that I'll be sparring with, and it's kind of very similar to the last guy I fought. So it's nothing. He's nothing that I haven't seen before.
Exactly.
I just beat a tall southpaw, and honestly, I think Jalen is just a better version of Pena. So.
Oh,
I'm
so you
prepared.
think you already got the harder fighter? That's great.
Yeah. They're both solid fighters, and I think Pena's got a little bit smaller of a frame than Jalen did, because Pena used to fight at 145. Actually, used to cut all the way down to that.
Oh wow.
That's a big cut.
But yeah, he's good. He's a good fighter. He's good everywhere. But I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna be prepared to beat his ass and get that finish.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm
man.
rooting for you for sure.
It's amazing.
Hell yeah, man! I'm gonna go on there, get a nice finish, and then be healthy so I could play flag football with Sean and the Legends League, because those fucking Skulls are coming for that championship this year.
Nice,
There you
nice.
go.
Throw him a little @ from Instagram so everyone can go follow the Skulls real quick.
Yeah, it's not a bad. Yeah, what's the @ for the
I
Skulls?
think it's Skull Gang.
Yeah, Skull Gang 44.
44.
And you have an Instagram, right? That I can tag on all my stuff, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all your information, at least all the information that I have gathered already.
Man, that's a story in itself. So I had an
Yeah,
Instagram, but I posted like a bunch of UFC clips of like me fighting and stuff, and then they would take it down, put me in Instagram jail, and tell me I couldn't do that, and then I'd be like, "What do you mean? This is me fighting?" And then I'd post it again, and they put me into Instagram jail, and then finally they just deactivated my account. So
Yeah, shout out to Instagram lately for like just being a bunch of dickheads.
But is that Instagram or is that the UFC who is like trademarking their their product probably?
Instagram.
You think it's
yeah,
Instagram? Because it could be the UFC.
I'm talking with the UFC social team now to try to get my Instagram back, but
Yeah.
for the right now, no Instagram.
You know what? That's all right.
It
It's
is
not.
what it is.
Listen, it's not really that big of a deal. Everyone's gonna know who you are when you knock this fucker out. I can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. I just got to go in there and handle business, and everything will fall into place.
What's
Oh,
the mindset, man? Like, I mean, obviously for you, it's probably not like. For me, thinking about walking into a stadium with a bunch of people, all eyes on me, about to get into the ring. Like, is there a type of music that that you need to get out there, or is there a ritual? Is there something you got like a little secret? I mean, listen, I don't know what it's like. You definitely do. I mean, preach a little bit. Tell me what that's like, man. That's got to be a crazy feeling.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's really no secrets. I put in the work. I got 7 weeks notice for this fight, but I've been grinding for a while now. I'm doing what I need to do to be prepared, and my hard work, breeds my confidence. And
100%.
I believe that I'm doing all the right things. I'm busting my ass in the gym, and I know I'm prepared. This will be my 20th fight, amateur and pros. So I feel like I get better every fight. I get better every fight camp I put in.
100%.
And yeah, I'm this is what I do. This is my profession. I'm gonna go in there and fight this guy till he's unconscious on the canvas. So
I love it, man.
No, that's great.
I was watching Rocky 4 the other night, and I'm like, fucking Frevola would beat this guy's ass. Take him to the
Rocky
ground.
IV.
You know?
Oh yeah, I watched Rocky 4. Day of the fight. That's one of my rituals, actually.
I love it, man. It's like that fight scene, the training scene.
So good.
Going right
It's so
into,
good.
Oh my god, one of the best
Dude,
movies of all time.
If Rocky could go in there and fight Ivan Drago after Drago killed Apollo, then I could go in and fight anyone. So
100%. That's awesome.
hell yeah.
That adrenaline rush.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I just like, so I get confused or lost because like me, I played sports when I was a kid, and like that always like freaked me out a little bit. Like it's funny, I can talk in front of 100 people and I can do comedy skits and shit. I can't fucking shoot a basketball in front of a in front of a crowd of people. So like for you, did you have to like get over like any type of jitters, or like when the fight starts and like I guess like you start throwing punches, like does everything just like I'm not saying space out or like you just dial in, like are you dialed in, like you're just focused, you don't hear anything probably, right? You're just there with one goal, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely. I want to stay composed. You know, earlier in my career, I definitely go out there and get a little emotional and just go out there trying to kill someone, kill this guy. You know, freaking out a little bit. But now, you know, that I'm fighting better and better opponents, and I'm getting more experience, and I'm definitely going in there composed. And you know, I have one of my coaches, Eric Parker, used to teach this intensity program, and it's kind of like he used to say, you look at a street fight, and you put a guy like you put a guy who's in a street fight like in front of a punching bag, and you know tell him to throw 1-2 some straight punches. They'll look pretty good, you know, and have some cardio. And then in a street fight, they're out there throwing windmill punches and they're gassed in 30 seconds. It's because they're emotional. You know, they forget to breathe. They forget the technique. So it's important not to get emotional in there, to stay in the part of your brain, the cortex, which you're thinking, you're reading your opponent. You know, throw a jab, he parries it to the left, but jab and throw a hook. You know, you got to be thinking, composed, reading your opponent, and fight smart.
Definitely.
It's definitely comes with experience.
Out of like all the have like during trainings, I know like from what I've heard, like if you get really injured, like it actually pulls you back like from training camp, like to be ready for like the next fight. Like if you get a concussion or if something happens like to a muscle, or if you stretch it or hurt it in the wrong way, has that ever like happened to you, that ever made it like a fight critical, almost made it like you gave you a little bit more of a nervous edge, like maybe like hurting like a calf or something like that? Like have you ever had any like experience where, because I know you have 20 fights under your belt and you're 7-1, at least that's what you have your ranking here, and that's a dope ranking. And I mean, I'm seeing it going high, way higher than that. I'm just wondering, like, what's your mindset when everything's not going to plan?
Yeah, you know, what we do, you know, is not easy.
I know, dude.
I'm pretty much going into every fight with bumps and bruises and some kind of injury, but. You know, that's just through the training. You have to train around your injuries. You have to manage your injuries. You know, I like to do cryotherapy. I like to do acupuncture. I like to do hot yoga. I like to swim. Those are all like you know, kind of. I look at them as like recovery sessions to help my body, you know, stay good to go. But I have to manage those injuries during my training, and I know that once I step into that octagon, I won't feel any of those. You know, your adrenaline's up.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
When I'm fighting,
there's nothing like it,
I
probably.
don't feel any of those injuries.
Yeah, there's probably nothing like
your
it.
mind is just completely shit to just beating the shit out of him. Like adrenaline's rushing.
Yeah, it reminds me of that last fight a few weeks back with John Jones and Thiago Santos. That guy, tore his entire MCL, and he still was just able to stand up that entire fight and just go. Adrenaline,
Blew out
man.
his whole knee.
Wow.
And like, what happens then? Like, does that guy ever get to fight again? Like,
It
is
depends
he
on
like he
the
gets surgery and then he'll go back in there?
Doctors are good on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, on knees. Yeah.
Have you ever had any? Have you ever had any bad injuries? Anything that like could have made it critical to fight or no?
Oh yeah. One of my Titan FC fight. I think it was my fourth or fifth pro fight. I broke my hand and I broke my ankle. I fractured my ankle in round 1 of the fight.
Holy shit!
And yeah, and then I went out there and I still won the fight. I won round 1 and round 2. I lost round 3 because I was kind of just moving and jabbing because I was fucked up. But I won the first 2 rounds and got the W. But
That's awesome.
yeah, you know, when you're in there, you don't have an option. You know, I've never quit. I've never you know. So I'm gonna go in there and do whatever I have to do to win.
It's great fucking
And,
mindset.
Yeah,
Great
that's what I
mindset.
do.
Dude, but that's a killer's mindset right there. And I mean, listen, you have probably
Just gotta have
one of the hardest jobs in the world. Like you're literally going out there and you're a gladiator, like day in day out. And like, I mean, so can you walk me through like what a day in the life is? Like you wake up like what time to start training? Like I'm sure like in these 7 weeks you got coming up, you're literally at the training camp. You're training every day or taking maybe like 1 or 2 rest days. What's a day in the life during a training camp?
You know, like I like to sometimes wake up and get out to 6 a.m. hot yoga. You know, I like to start off the day with that. Sometimes gets me
That's
up
tough.
early, gets me going,
Yeah.
and then
Hot yoga.
you know
I've
that
never done
fucking
it.
hot
Tough start to
yoga
the day.
is tough, dude. That
Yeah,
shit's
it's
tough.
tough.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
I've never done it. What?
tough.
I mean, I've done yoga before. You know, like
No, it's
I'm
not
a
like
little
that.
flexible, like, not
then,
too much.
Then I can make a room 110 degrees or whatever.
Yeah.
It
Shut
is, and
up.
then be doing yoga. Yeah, it's tough.
You go in there, Matt, and you do yoga at 110 degrees.
105,
Yeah,
104,
yeah.
something like that. It's up there though.
Is
Definitely.
that like good for like your
Oh, yeah.
heat shock? Heat like what is it? Heat shock proteins or something like that? Is that
Yeah,
is that
I
a
mean,
word?
that sounds about right.
Yeah, something,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not sure if it's a word.
I don't know if
But,
that's a real word, but
Yeah, it's huge
sounds
on,
right.
on my breathing. You know, I gotta focus on my breathing. It's huge on my balance. It's huge on my flexibility and honestly my focus. You know, being in there trying to hold these poses and just trying to focus and you know starting the day out like that is huge. And then you know after that I like to go to LA Fitness and I get a swim. I'm a big swimmer. I'm a shark in those waters and
There you
in that
go.
octagon. So I stay swimming, and I also swim a lot. I started swimming a lot because I can't run as much anymore because my knee's a little messed up. So that's again, you know, managing these injuries. So
Yes,
you know, I always like to get a swim.
Swimming's great for your body,
Take
right?
off the
yeah,
pressure.
isn't that like one of the best
76 and
workouts you can do?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And
And
then
then I'll do my strength and conditioning over at Acceleration Sports Training, and that's a different kind of strength and conditioning. You know, a lot of these MMA fighters, they think of the strength and conditioning, and it's like a CrossFit workout. They're just trying to like kill you, get you as tired as you can, and then that's how like a lot of injuries happen. And the way I explain my strength and conditioning at Acceleration is they build me up for my martial arts training. Like I feel better when I leave there after the workout. Like just do a lot of rotator cuff work, a lot of structural balance work. It's almost like PT. You know, the first phase. You know, we always go through phases. 2 weeks usually for a phase, and it's like stepping up, and they always stretch me out. They ice me up. They take great care of me over there. So.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
Matt, I was in there filming with you. That was the guy's like super smart. He's like has like a whole plan, like stretches you out, like gets like you going, like super hard workouts. Like
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
They've saved me many of times.
they're good guys in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know after that I'll go to the gym and I'll get my mitt work in with my coach. You know that's kind of when we have some fun and we game plan, we talk, we hit mitts. Or it'll be like a more of a cardio where we'll hit mitts, push the sled, hit mitts, push the sled, and then at night I'll get my MMA training, whether it's like MMA wrestling, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu,
Nice.
or my sparring. You know.
So who do you usually spar with, Matty?
Tomorrow I got sparring at 12 o'clock with Ally Quinta, so
Nice.
that'll be a good one.
Nice.
That's awesome. Love that.
he any good?
Nice.
I'm teasing you a little bit. I know who that is.
Yeah.
I listen. I do watch the sport a little bit. I do like it. Are you So is like, who's the what? He's in lightweight,
class.
right?
Habib.
Habib, right?
Habib is champion of lightweight.
Yeah.
Is that guy like really that intimidating? I mean, listen, to me personally,
No.
any single human being that does UFC fighting compared to me is intimidating. But
mean, he's very
I'm saying
talented.
to a UFC fighter, like, is he actually like, I don't know, is he really like
I feel like Tony Ferguson is scarier than Habib.
I mean, he's a beast, no doubt. But you know, the more that you see this game, the more that you see that everyone can get beat. You know, if you get hit on the button, you're gonna go to sleep.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Khabib is the real deal. You know, his wrestling and his pressure is something I really admire. You know, watching him go in there and do what he does best. You know, you hear a term in MMA is like fight your fight, and Khabib really goes in there and he knows what he's good at, and everybody knows what he's gonna do, but nobody can stop him. So it's real fun to watch.
Is it no one that can stop him because like he's just so like effective and efficient, and no one has the time, or is it like something that like just no one's cracked the code where like it's just something where, I mean, he gets you in an arm bar or something and you just can't get out? Like, is it just his pure strength, like that make?
Yeah, he's very strong, and he's also he's a Dagestani like sambo wrestler. I think he's gonna be able to take down anyone, but it's who is someone going to be able to get back up and catch him on the chin.
Nice.
That's what I'm waiting to see.
And you think that's what's going to get him getting knocked out?
Yeah. I think anyone who's preparing to fight Khabib has to be prepared to be taken down, and has to be prepared to get back up.
Kind of funny. We're talking Ivan Drago and Rocky, man. I got Steamrolla Rocky. I'm voting for Rocky 4 right there.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I got like one or two more questions. You guys have anything you guys want to talk about before I jump in? Because I don't want to keep you for too much more of your time. I know you got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Whenever you guys want to talk, you hit me up.
Definitely, man. I also definitely want to get you in on the studio.
Yeah.
Maybe listen, I it's embarrassing, but I got a freestanding bag in this studio. Nothing crazy. I don't have anything crazy, but dude, I'd love to throw some roundhouse kicks with you. See who can throw them high. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't recommend that, but
no, not at each other.
Yeah.
No, let me be extremely clear. Not at each other. At the bag. Where the bag is in between us or whatever. You know what I mean? Just something fun. There's nothing crazy. But when's the next time you're in Long Island?
I'm living here, man. I live in Huntington. So I definitely got to make it out to the studio.
Massapequa, baby. Not too far.
Right. I'll make it out there soon.
Yeah, you ever eat All American? We gotta get you some All American burgers, bro. That's some good
stuff. He's got a good nutritious diet if it coming out.
Oh yeah, no. See that was my next question. So like the next 7 weeks, what are we just eating like lettuce or what?
Like a big weight cut, or are you like do you naturally sit close to your light weight, or do you have to do a big weight cut?
I'm a natural fat boy. I gotta cut down the weight, but I actually got a nice sponsor, X Factor Meals, and
dude, I've been actually looking at those before. You got sponsored. Are they any good?
They're awesome. They got all their meals are real good, and they got low carb options too. They deliver right to your doorstep, which is pretty sweet.
That's great.
Is that every day?
Makes it too easy. No, they deliver on Thursdays and Sundays.
That's so convenient. It's like you don't have to make dinner. You just go.
Well, I mean, dude, you hear this guy? You hear this guy's life? 6 a.m. He's up.
Oh yeah.
He probably doesn't get home till like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I don't always make it to 6 a.m. But I try to at least like twice a week or something.
It's not bad at all, dude.
Yeah, it makes it easy because when I get home, I'm not trying to cook. I get lucky and my fiance makes me some food sometimes, but usually I just pop in one of those meals in the toaster oven and we're good to go. But I have to eat to fuel this training. I've made the mistake before of just like eating like nothing, because I gotta like
cut weight, yeah.
Crash this weight, but then I crash in the gym and can't I have to be able to fuel all my training and it's a process. I'm starting to check my weight now. You know, out of camp, I never step on the scale. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
of
even
course
fucking
not.
look
Why
at
do you
the
even
scale.
bother? No.
I don't even look at it.
Yeah.
But you know,
Man.
once I
Drinking beer and playing flag football, right? Come on, tell me there's nothing better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. And
nothing
the
worse
school's
than
got me
finding-
playing D line, so I got to get my weight up. You know, these linemen are big.
Yeah. some of
Dude,
these
but I
guys
mean,
are
come on,
boys.
you're a professional fighter. These fuckers are going right to the floor. Doesn't matter what size they are.
Some of these guys are big boys.
Bro,
on
they're
the- on
good,
the
man.
line.
They're
Really?
good.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's big
definitely.
boys on the
If it was a fight, they'd be going to the floor.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Can't be fighting on our fields, man. Come on, you know that.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
Maddie, I know you're excited for the fight, but I definitely saw like a flashes of the Skull Gang like coming back from like when you guys were winning championship after championship, man.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
You guys look good last season.
Yeah, we got some new jerseys too, so I'm pumped to get out there and rock those new jerseys. You know, boost the morale of the team a little bit, and
Yeah, man.
get this trophy. You know,
All day one right there, right?
hell yeah, you already know.
That's
Hell yeah,
dope, man.
Hell yeah.
Listen. It was honestly a pleasure to talk to you, and I really hope I can get you into the studio and pick your brain a little bit more. But I'm gonna let you go for the rest
Yeah,
of the night.
Maddie,
all right, man?
anyone you want to like shout out or
Yeah, dude, red
give-
carpet's yours. If you want to plug anything or any type of information you want to get out there, so that my followers and my friends can actually learn something, maybe learn a thing or two.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys having me, and definitely want to come into the studio.
You're
and,
always welcome here. You're
share
always
with you
welcome.
guys. But yeah, I guess my sponsors always helping me out. You know, my gyms mainly Longo and Weidman MMA, Sarah BJJ, and then when I'm down in Tampa, Gracie Tampa South, Gracie Clearwater, and then strength and conditioning, acceleration, sports training. My acupuncture spot, East to West Acupuncture. My apparel guys, no judges needed. You know, that's how I fight all my fights. You know, with no judges needed, I go in there looking to finish. Again, X Factor meals for delivery for your meals. Yeah, that's about it.
Dude, I gotta ask one more question, then I'll let you go. I promise. Acupuncture, does it really work? Like I'm too afraid of those fucking needles.
I'm
Kind
a
of part of the
believer.
needles.
It works.
It helps me so much.
Nice.
It really did.
Is it
The
for pain relief or is it for just muscle tension? Like what are you using it for?
like I went today and my hamstrings have been so tight, you know, and I told him that, and he must have put like 20 needles in each of my hamstrings, and he's hitting the right spots, and my whole fucking leg's like jumping, and afterwards I felt amazing.
That's
And,
awesome, dude.
I really found him when I had my ankle surgery, and after my ankle surgery, it just wasn't getting better. My ankle was so tight, so stiff, and then my guys at Acceleration told me to go to Greg at East to West Acupuncture. I went in there for the first time, and he put all these needles in the right spots. You know, I don't know what he does, but he worked his magic, and just like that, my ankle was like 10 times looser. And ever since then, you know, when I'm in fight camp, I go in there for some maintenance
It's good to
whenever
know.
I get a chance.
It's good to know.
Yeah, listen, that's some good information, man.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you so
Gotta
much
try
again,
that.
Matt.
Might have to try that.
Yeah, I got my fantasy football draft at 9 o'clock.
Oh
so
man, yeah, we just had a podcast last night.
Yeah, we had a
actually, Maddie.
podcast about. Yo, so what draft
What
pick
pick
do you have?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I gotta like re-download the app now and take a look. I haven't even like looked at it at all. I just wing it.
We had a big argument yesterday about like Zeke Elliott, is he gonna play? Melvin Gordon, is he gonna play? A lot of these guys, like you don't want to take risks on.
Drew drafted Ezekiel Elliott in one of his leagues.
Is Ground coming back?
Uh-oh. These are all great questions.
Maddie, one thing I should tell you is definitely take Josh Gordon around like 4th, 5th round. Talked about that a lot yesterday. He's Tom Brady's #1 target.
Definitely.
Josh Gordon. All right, I'll keep that noted.
He's
even though I don't
not
like
really
drafting Patriots.
he's not really ranked on the actual draft. Just so you know. So you got to like cue him. You got to search his name.
I will.
Bro.
All right, listen, Matt.
Nice advice
Thank
for
you again for being on SiSi's BEC podcast, and hopefully I can catch you soon. And if I don't get you before your fight, good luck, man. You're definitely gonna knock that fucker out,
Yeah,
no
get the
problem.
finish, bro. Have a good one, man.
Hell yeah, man. You're going to be a beast.
Hey guys, talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.
All right,
bro,
later,
good shit.
Bye.
dude. He was a really nice guy.
Love him, man. He's a Great guy. Great guy.
Super
Yeah, dude,
chill.
Great, great family. Great guy.
That's honestly like,
Yeah. Recently got hitched too. Congrats on that.
yeah, no,
I didn't tell him
congratulations,
that.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know you had photos. You showed me a dope video
I
you
shot
took,
a video
man.
with him.
That was really, it was a
Yeah.
really dope
It was
video.
awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
But
Dude, I'm happy that, it really makes me really happy that he's from like Long Island, like he knows Chris Weidman, like he's around.
Quinta.
Yeah.
See, I wonder how that is, though. I wonder if that's weird. I mean, I don't know how high in the rankings Matt is, but I mean, Ally Quinta's in the lightweight division too, but they train together. I wonder. I mean, obviously, there's probably not any issues now, but if he keeps moving up in the rankings, I wonder if things would get weird between the two of them because Al is a beast, man.
no, they're all fam, I think. And then whenever they fight, I think if they fight someone, like if your boy,
I think
you
it's
fight your
only-
boy,
Yeah,
you're just
I
gonna be
think-
it's a business.
I
At the
literally
end of the day,
think-
you're gonna fight.
you're not, like,
nobody's
talking
gonna.
shit,
Yeah,
so
nobody's
you're,
gonna
like,
kill each other in this
enter the
ring.
fight.
It's a
It's
fight.
like it's like all right, you got to do what we got to do.
It's
and
business.
Yeah,
it's business. You do
yeah.
what you got to do. You fight, and then
Yeah.
it goes back to
Anything.
normal.
And
yeah.
in
I think
life,
it's, I
in
think it's
life,
only
right?
Conor McGregor and Khabib that hate each other. Other than that, I think everyone else can just.
I didn't mention it with him,
John
but
Jones, Daniel
like
Cormier.
Khabib, man, like he's off the I would say off the field and like any other sport, like his off the field attitude is like what he's doing out there, like like
You don't like it, or is it good stuff? Bad
I
vibe?
don't
What?
know, like his whole posse that he has.
He does a lot of good things, though. I know
He
he
does,
built.
but-
he built a huge.
But like when he
gym.
like
I
butts
know
heads
that.
with guys, like and his like crew gets involved, it's like
Well,
what's
that really
going on
only
with that?
happened with the Connor thing,
with
right?
the
Did
Conor
that happen
thing.
with
Yeah,
anybody
Connor's
else?
more in fault there, I guess.
Yeah,
I
well, you
mean,
have the whole bus
Connor's screaming.
incident,
Connor's screaming
and,
around. Connor's going around screaming,
That's
"Fuck you,
nuts.
fuck you, fuck
talking
you."
religion.
Vegas.
He's talking
When he went running after the car or whatever. what he
Listen,
did,
it was
he
it
threw
was
the hand
true.
truck
That
at
was
the
true,
bus.
dude.
Yeah,
that was
bus,
true.
yeah.
That was true. Provoking. He was provoking Khabib to make a mistake.
clown stuff right there.
I mean, it's not. Listen, I look at it this way. Even in a game, like when I played like high school, like varsity basketball or anything like that, like I was always respectful, even if you were winning or losing.
Well, look at him right now. It's Khabib and Dustin Poirier, and there's nothing but respect.
That
they
is
both-
true.
They both think
That
they're
is
gonna
100%
win,
true.
But there's no
Yeah,
animosity.
obviously.
They
I
go
mean,
up there, they shake hands.
Who do we think's gonna win though? Let's be honest, right now.
Habib. I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna do.
He
his
does fight
game.
his own fight very well, definitely.
Dustin Poirier is good, but I don't think he's gonna get the shot that you need to take Habib out. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Mm.
I think the number one shot in someone beating Habib would be Tony Ferguson.
Really?
I think his ground game is unbelievable. He has vicious elbows, vicious hands. I mean, Tony Ferguson, he's a scary dude.
All right, so I'm actually kind of excited for this next guest. So Richie, I actually didn't tell you this, but we're gonna get a magician on right now, or mentalist. I'm sorry, a mentalist and an illusionist.
/ magician, but he's more known as the mentalist.
Alex,
as like
right?
A mentalist, or is he the mentalist because he's like the guy? Like he is the guy.
Yeah, no, I'm literally excited to get this guy on the phone.
He's the guy. He's booked like every day.
All right, yeah, let's see if we can get this guy on the phone right now.
Yeah, Sean, I need you to get me on the flag football team, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yo, get Richie on a flag football team, and he'll kill it for you.
Got
I
a
promise.
tournament this Saturday. I could probably get you on team.
Dude, he'll toss you on a team. You could probably win.
It's been a while. I feel like I'm slacking. I got to get back out there, man.
Let's see if we get this guy.
Usually, he answers every time. Usually.
All right.
Maybe he's
Maybe he's performing.
Hi, you reached out.
Yeah,
All right, he's performing. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
a big
fine.
deal. We can always catch it. We can always catch him next time.
Yeah.
But no, I really think like for Matt, like he has a great fucking mindset, and like getting to talk to him, that was awesome. And honestly, we gotta drag him down here. I gotta just see. I gotta see it for myself.
I want to see how much better his
Roundhouse
kick
kick
is than yours.
Dude, you saw SiSi's fucking bottle cap challenge,
Do
man.
some work.
I kicked that fucking
You did.
cap.
You kicked it
Dude.
off nice. It was a good kick.
Dude, I kicked it off, and on top of that, it was higher than my head, and I'm almost 6 foot. So like, there's some logic there. Like, SiSi can probably kick, but I'm not trying to compare myself to a fucking actual UFC fighter. Let's be honest here. This dude might be a lightweight, but he can kick the fucking shit out of me easy. So
100%.
I guess we'll
100%.
I guess we can with that being said, maybe we'll run through a couple of topics.
Yeah.
And then we'll just cancel a little bit early tonight. It's not a big.
Fine.
It's not a big deal.
I think we already got amazing stuff from.
Oh,
Matt.
dude, you want to know something? We can even just leave it at that. Should we just leave it at that at that point?
I mean, what are we at now, time wise?
35.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I
I think that's solid.
unless he miraculously calls back in a minute, but I don't think he'll. I don't think. Yeah.
No,
I guess he's
the
busy.
magician won't call back. That
He's always
fast.
booked, man. He's like, I guess since he's not coming on, I'll give a little background on him real
Yeah,
quick.
definitely.
I've been in a room, like I was filming stuff for him, and I'm like, obviously, working for him, doing videos for him.
Yeah, of course. Do you know
And-
some of the tricks behind the scene? Yeah, you do. Okay, you don't have to tell me.
There's
Keep going.
one, but he does like a lot of tricks.
Okay.
And I wouldn't call him tricks. It's not really a trick. Like he knows.
Well, he's a mentalist. He's fucking with your
He'll
mind.
look at you and he'll basically like tell you like where you want to go in 5 years from now. Like where do you want to be? Like what country do you want to be in? Or even city of like he'll be like, okay, like this is where you're gonna go in 5 years, or like 5 years ago this is where you were, and he'll be like, think of someone, and you'll just think of him, and you're like, wow. Like I've seen people's reactions in the room.
And he's so accurate
Of some of the videos, and like I'm videoing him, and he's going through his thing that he's his thing that he's doing with whoever he's doing with groups of people, and he brings people in, and I've seen some crazy stuff that he's done. Like I can't tell
just
you,
mind blown.
I can't tell you how he did it.
Wow.
Like what?
But
give me one
but
thing.
everybody in the room,
Yeah.
like sometimes you have those random magicians, right? They'll do a trick and you're like, psh. It's like, it's okay. It's like, whatever. It's a card trick. It was like some bullshit behind it. Like,
It's
but
little
what
basic
he
magic,
does is like, you see it and you're like, wow.
He probably took a
how
long
does he
time to
know
get that.
that?
He took a long time to figure out his craft, man.
But I'm saying like
Practice is
there's
everything,
stuff
man.
that he knows. Like he'll be like, I know your brother's name already. Like I know like how much money you're making.
And
I
none
know
of this
like,
is staged.
and it's like what?
And none of this is staged. It's all real. Like he just is able to do this.
I mean, to be honest,
I want to get this guy on the fucking phone.
he is.
I want to get him in person.
He is
though.
just a.
How cool would it be if we got the?
Oh, if he was in person, he would be able to tell you everything about you.
Doubt that.
We need him in person.
We need him in person.
Bro,
let's lock this
A
guy
phone
in.
call would
I
be
was
great,
I was
but
on
we
the
need him in
phone.
person.
I was on the phone with him one time, and he was like, "It sounds like you're drinking something," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "What are you drinking over there?" And I'm like, "Come on, you know what I'm drinking already." And he's like, "What is it, ginger ale?" And I'm like, "This motherfucker." I'm like looking over my shoulder. I was like, "This motherfucker by my house
Where
or
is he?
something, man?
Yeah.
Under my
crazy.
couch?" No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
dude. That kind of stuff is really cool, but that's like master of your craft type thing. Like
100%. Yeah.
you really have to practice day in, day out just to get good at that kind of stuff. And I mean, it's the same exact thing with Matt, dude. Like he is in the gym all day for the next fucking almost 2 months just to get ready for this shit. And for me, that's dedication that I wish I had to get to the gym every day. I'm trying to get there 3 times a week.
When did Matt find out about this fight? Just
today.
recently?
I think
yeah.
I was looking online. It was like yesterday and the
It
day
lo-
before
it was-
that.
it was brand
I think
new.
it was
Said
like
that
2 or
he
3
had-
days ago. Like
He took the fight late, but
Yeah,
they
well, he
said-
said he only had a 7-week notice before the fight, so
It must,
I mean, that's
yeah,
not
it must
bad.
be then. Like, yeah, whatever. It's worked out 7 weeks before his fight. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
of
don't know.
course. No,
Yeah.
listen, he's smart to take the fight because he's taking a fight against a body or a build that he already knows. He's already trained for this, and
I've seen him train him, man. He's a beast. Like he trains with
dude.
he trains with like
and he's humble. I
spars with a
like
lot of
that.
guys,
I like that he's humble.
Yeah.
And he's not shit talking like me. I brought
his
up
whole team is great. He didn't really like shout out his whole team really, but like the team that he spars with besides Quinta, like everybody like all together is great. Like they're all great fighters.
That's
It's
awesome.
Weidman's team. It's like Weidman, Aljamain Sterling.
Aljamain Sterling, that dude is a monster.
I love-
he
yeah.
needs a title fight. Aljamain Sterling needs a title fight. He's
So-
a
so
fucking
Steam-
beast.
He is a beast.
So
He's a
Steamrolla, they
beast.
throw like a party every year, right? And this party that I told you about, and they throw it on the water, and like Aljamain was there with all his guys, and I said what up, introduced, whatever. It was like whatever. Afterwards, like everybody's already going home. It was like everybody's tanked. My girl's driving me home, and I'm stopped at a red light. I'm like passed out in the passenger seat. and all I hear is "Yo, Bo, lights! Yo, Bo, lights!" And I like look out the window, and it's Aljamain Sterling like yelling "Bo, lights! Bo,
No
lights!"
way.
And
That's
No
fucking
way.
awesome.
I'm like, no way! Like
That is so
I like
fucking
wake
cool.
up, and my girl's like, "Someone's yelling your name. Someone's yelling for you over there." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like gave her a little attitude and looked over, and it was like Aljamain. I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?"
That's fucking
so
funny.
fucking
Hilarious. I was like one of the funniest things after that. I was like, that's amazing.
cool. And he is a beast.
Nah, he's a beast. Yeah,
He needs his title shot.
he needs his title shot. He needs it.
What weight class is he in?
I have to look it up. I forgot. I should know this.
Look that shit up, dude.
Jeez, putting us on the spot.
Well, yeah, listen, I asked one
Division-
fucking question.
Bantamweight.
Bantam.
Bantamweight. Yeah. I'm reading featherweight and bantamweight. I put them together. There you
Yeah.
go.
Mm-hmm. Bantamweight. That's who's running that? Who's the champ? Who's the champ there?
Who is the?
Yeah, who is the champ?
I don't know if they're a
Something
champ
stuck
yet.
in my throat.
Hope it's not Henry Cejudo.
Why is that guy? That guy's a beast, no? That motherfucker. I
He's
feel like
a cringy motherfucker.
he's ugly looking.
No, just like what he does and his actions. Call him Triple C.
I know Aljamain called him out a few times. So
Did he?
Good.
yeah,
You think Aljamain can fuck him up?
I wasn't sure if it was actually him or someone else, but I'm pretty sure if he's the number one guy, then that's probably who they were.
All right.
But
That's pretty crazy, dude. I'm excited. We have a lot of content coming out soon. I mean, I have a new CC's.
Featherweight champion is Max Holloway.
Of course it is. No, but who's the bantamweight? Bantamweight chomp. I honestly like that Matt's also.
Bantamweight is Henry Cejudo.
Oh fuck, I don't know. So, I like how Matt's a part of the UFC because the UFC is like. I mean, Bellator, people know about Bellator, and people know about all these other ones, but, like, it proves right there in the pudding that, like, the guy is obviously putting in the work behind the scenes. Because he's fighting on a great... for a
UFC
great
is the number one company. I mean, you
100%.
have Bellator, you have, 1FC or whatever it is. There's a few of these other ones, but UFC is that's the number one,
Yeah.
100%. If
I
you're
mean,
in the UFC, you're the best
what do
of
you
the
guys
best.
think of this stupid shit with the ESPN Plus shit, man?
what's that? What do you mean?
You can't even watch
think
all the
they're
fights
killing-
anymore.
They're killing themselves with that. I think it was a terrible deal. I mean, it was a great deal for Dana White, but I don't think it was a great deal for the fighters.
I mean, he's being broadcasted on a great channel. The channel's amazing. ESPN's a great channel.
But I wonder how much pay-per-view sales went down because now,
1,000%.
I mean, look at it like this. Unless you have ESPN Plus, you cannot get that pay-per-view.
But it's $80. It's even if you wanted it just for one
I'm
fight.
just saying, like technology-wise, like my 65-year-old father, you think he's gonna really like know to like go on the computer to sign up for ESPN Plus to then have to go and get the pay-per-view, and then you have to live stream
You
it.
can
Depending on
you
what
can buy
use.
you can buy it on FiOS ESPN Plus.
Can you?
I think so.
I'm not sure
you
about
should-
that. You might be able to. I mean,
you
that
should
would be smart.
You should be able to. I
That
mean,
would be
because
smart.
they have to be thinking about the 65-year-old man that wants to still watch the UFC fights. They have to.
And I think you're taking
That's
out
where
a
the
lot of
money is.
casual fans now.
100%.
You know, a lot of these casual fans aren't going to do this. So
I'm
but
not.
You have your diehard fans who are 100%, but I wonder what pay-per-view ratings have been, you know, like how much they've sold compared to the past. Again, it depends.
I
Because
think-
if you're going to have a McGregor fight, you're going to have a shit ton of sales regardless. I mean, he just fucking sells. Now, Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal, that fight is going to fucking sell.
That's the next fight. No, that just happened.
No, Nate Diaz, I mean, it's not
Nate Diaz
like,
just beat the shit out
Nate
of somebody.
Diaz just fought Anthony Showtime Pettis. Great fight. But they're talking about Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz now. West Coast gangster versus Miami gangster.
Who's gonna win? You think?
I don't know. It's a tough fight. That's a tough fight. It's a hard one to call.
What's the next
There's
best card
two
coming out?
OGs.
What's the next best card? Like the next best UFC card.
You know who would be great is my buddy Carlucci. Call him the Iceman. Fucking knocks anyone out, puts anyone else to sleep.
Really?
Knows everything about UFC. Lives in Vegas. One of my buddies from high school. I should probably hit him up.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We'll definitely. You know what we'll do is we'll try and get the next time we can get Matt. We'll try and get like somebody that we know that is.
My boy Sal too. He knows a lot.
No, we'll get a couple of UFC.
Alex Vaz.
Oh shit! All right, let's.
Yo.
Hello, is this Alex?
Hello.
Alex, this is SiSi from SiSi's BEC podcast, man. How you doing?
Very good, SiSi. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Listen, so Sean has only been talking great praise about you, and
That's good.
I need to understand a little bit how it works. I mean, obviously there's a lot of dedication and a nice sleight of hand, but you got to tell me, how do you? He's telling me that you know things, like you know things. Like, how do you know things? You got to explain this to me. He was telling me what was the story you just said, something about he knew what you were drinking without even knowing that, without even being in the same room.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you're drinking ginger ale.
That's pretty amazing. What is that? Is that like you're studying the opponent?
Well, I mean, look, there's a lot to it, right?
All right, no, so all right, no,
This
so
guy's
hold
already
on.
going for
I'm
the
sorry,
sleight of hand.
I'm sorry. I'm diving in. Let's start from the beginning. Alex, why don't you explain what you exactly do for my fans, please?
So essentially, I'm a mentalist and sleight of hand artist. And I combine magic and illusion together. And the difference between all of that is a magician, usually when people hear a magician, they think, he does the basic card tricks and balloons out of hats, rabbits out of hats, meaning doing kids' magic for children. There's levels to that. So magic is the art form.
Yes.
And then if you break it down into another level, speaking of the different objects, for instance, there's ropes, there's coins, there's cards. All of that is cool. And now if you start breaking down what you can do with those items as effects, there's something called sleight of hand, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So the hand is quicker than the eye. You grab a coin, for instance, you hold it in your right hand, you wave over with your left hand, and then it disappears. So that would be a pure sleight of hand form. And the more you practice, the better you get at it. And that's very cool. All of it, of course, is merely an illusion. So that's the definition of illusion now.
So
right?
is like the 101, like for an example, if I'm trying to make the coin disappear, when I wave my hand, it's almost to distract the human being that
Not necessarily. It's not a distraction. Every movement has every movement has a technicality.
Okay.
Right? There's a reason why they would move. It's not in larger vision when you do big stage shows like a David Copperfield type of illusion act. You would do a bigger action covering the smaller action. So essentially, what happens is, and most people have seen this. I'm sure you probably have seen if you watch some YouTube videos or videos in general on magic. They would, for instance, grab a box, put a lady in it, sew her in half, and then what they would do is they would take that box and they would start they rotate it 360 degrees multiple times to give the full view to the audience. They'll have beautiful girls doing it as well, sometimes in bikinis even. That would be a distraction. That's a bigger action. Sometimes they would have big sparks or some type of big flame and smoke. That would be a bigger distraction. I wouldn't even call them as distractions so much. I would call them as nuances. So it's a nuance to distract them, essentially, is what it is. But sleight of hand, going back to close-up work, sleight of hand nearly happens inches away from your eyes. So we're talking.
Is that the most effective?
That's
the most effective thing,
right? 2 feet at most. You can back out, be at about 3 feet. The more people you have, and that's called close-up mingling. So you'll get anywhere from 2 to 3 people at a time, and then the crowd can build around you. You could have 5 people, 10 people. So at that point, it's not so much about doing sleight of hand. It's about audience management. So now. That's where my profession comes in. I mean, I do this professionally, so
yeah. No, listen, I was looking at your Instagram today, man. You got some cool shit on here, dude.
I got a lot, man. I do a lot of events. I do 300 events a year on average. I do about 60% of them will be about corporate. Private is the rest. I mean, you name the company. Usually, what happens is so before I even get to that, what I like to do is I like to do mentalism. So mentalism is kind of like sleight of mind. So it's me being a psychic without actually being a psychic. Anyone that says they are a psychic, it's bullshit. I'll tell you that right now. It's strictly entertainment. It's all entertainment. I can look right at you and I could tell you exactly your date of birth.
All right, tell me what that. Yeah, come on, let's do this. No, when was I born?
I'm not looking at. We'll get to the effects in a second, but I'm not looking at you. So now most of the communication is body language. I think it's anywhere from like 60 to 70% of our communication with people is body language.
Did you ever
Right.
read a study about micro expressions and how they tell the
Well,
person's
there's a lot,
story?
of course. Yeah, you study the micro expressions, right? You also not so much of me even taking thoughts out of your mind. It's also about plugging thoughts into your mind as well,
Interesting.
right? Subliminally, that is. For instance, I can tell you to look at my hands. When I look at my hands, I can see it's hard. I'm trying to visualize it right now by telling you. Essentially, what I do is I tell you to think of a shape inside another shape, but then I make an expression with my hands, kind of like Italians when Italians talk.
Yeah, so you make
Just,
like a
"Hey,
circle. You
come
make
on,
a
come on,"
circle.
whatever.
So you'll make a
So-
circle with your hands, basically,
Exactly.
and then
I'll make
all
a
of a
circle.
sudden,
I'll be like, think of a shape, and then I'll make like a triangle, then a circle, real quick. So
Nice.
subconsciously, there's a percentage, right? If I see you look that way, I can tell basically the way you would react, right? I can give a chance about what you would what you would think of, whether you would think of a triangle and a circle, whether you would think of a rectangle, a trapezoid. I also know what kind of a person you are based on asking you like kind of like preliminary questions. Like I would say, hey, I would say, think about
what kind of
think about
person
a
am I,
number.
right?
Like right now, let's try it right now. I'm
Yeah,
not
try
saying
it. Let's
you-
talk. No, you know what? No.
Oh, shit.
Listen. Right now, I want you to put me on the spot. I want you to tell me and everybody I know what type of fucking person I am. I'd love this,
Oh,
please.
I'd love this.
Listen,
This is gonna be great.
This
before
is
you
gonna
do
be
this,
great, yeah.
regardless what happens, I definitely need to get you into this studio. I don't know how I can do it, but we'll obviously have a phone call off air, whatever I need to do to get you into this studio, because this kind of shit, I love this stuff. So, all right, come on, tell me. So, anything you need to know. Let's
So
go.
I'll start an example. So again, I'm going back to mentalism, right? So mentalism is something that if you hear this, you'll definitely understand that it's not sleight of hand, and because I can try doing this even over the phone. There's no other art in magic that can be done over the phone other than straight mentalism,
Okay.
which is great, right? And again, you wouldn't perform mentalism over a phone, but I'm just telling you that I can try explaining it and give you a few examples. Essentially, that's what I do. And again, going back to you looking at my Instagram, and you've seen the stuff that I do.
Yeah,
Obviously,
no,
probably. I mean,
dude.
you named the client, I've probably done a show for them. Goldman Sachs, KPMG, all these big guys. And I customize shows too. Like I customize corporate events. Like I have, for instance, I have Foot Locker reaching out to me and asking me if I can customize a show for them. And I'm trying to make sneakers
awesome.
levitate in front of 1,000 people
Wow,
in New York
really
City.
fucking
So,
cool.
that's the type of
That's
stuff I
really
do. I'm
cool.
gonna.
That's sick.
But that wouldn't be mentalism. That would be strictly that would be an illusion act. Mentalism would be involved in a different spectrum of in the same format, but that's what they wanted me to do there. But like going back to an example with you, right? Can I tell you what kind of person you are? I'd be on the phone with you for 7 minutes and 58 seconds.
This guy.
Probably not, right? So what I would need to do is I would need to
That's crazy.
speak to you more. And then I get hints. I get kind of like you're giving me you're giving yourself away without you realizing. what
No,
you're
you.
doing.
It,
But let's
I
try.
call it third degree questioning. When you ask a question that has the same exact answer to a different question, all of a sudden you get your answer without asking the question, which allows you to then be.
Right, which is also part of NLP, right? Neuro linguistic program.
Yes, it is. Listen, I know nothing. I know nothing about this. I swear. All I know is like one of the things that I really liked a long time ago was a TV show that came out. It was called Lie to Me. It was all about micro expressions.
Yeah. I remember that one.
So
I
so
love that show.
listen, I watched that show, became addicted, and then I read everything I could about it, and I gotta tell you, it even helped with women. It even helped with women.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it was
It's funny because people ask me all the time. They say, "Hey, Alex, you probably get a lot of girls doing this, right?" Truth is, no, because I don't do it for that reason. That's how you know you're a professional, because it's not a hobby for me. I actually left my job. I used to work at Merrill Lynch for I don't know about a year. And then I used to take a lot of sick days, not because I was sick, but I would travel to Vegas. I had a client there in the middle of February, and then I would come back all tanned. And my boss used to come up to me, I remember, and ask me, "Hey, Al, I know for a fact you haven't gone to, you weren't sick. Like something is off. I know you were tanning somewhere. What's going on?" Eventually, he knew. It was kind of like not a conflict of interest, but I had to tell him exactly what I was doing. They knew. I had to leave. and kind of start my own thing. And I never looked back. And that's
Don't,
probably
man.
because
Listen,
I
I'm
blew
looking.
a lot of minds.
I'm looking at your stuff. Don't ever look back. You really have a future with this. This is some cool shit.
A lot of good things.
Listen.
Look forward to.
Just I look forward to getting to meet you in person and listen.
I'll
This
do
thing
it,
this
man. I'll do it.
this
I
thing that
got
this thing that you did in Sheepshead Bay with the is that tape? Is that tape in your mouth?
which one? Shipset Bay. Which one?
The Sheepshead Bay with all the children. It looks like you were in a You did like
Oh, was it the white tape coming out of my mouth?
Yes. How the
So I was in Miami doing a corporate event. I get a phone call asking me if I can come in same day to do an event for them. I was getting on my flight. I said, look, guys, there's no delay or anything. I'll come by. I'll do it. I landed, went straight to Shipset Bay, grabbed, I had the bag already with me. Got there, and then I put on a show for the kids there. But again, I don't really do kids. It's funny you mentioned that out of everything. I mostly do. The lowest I would go in terms of age would be 13. That's
Okay.
the bar mitzvah age.
Can I ask why? Can I ask why? Just real quick. I just want to know why. Why only 13?
Yeah, because mostly I do mentalism, right? Mentalism is sophisticated.
Mhm.
Only
No, you're
adults would really understand what it is. Kids won't really understand.
Kids don't understand.
No,
I'm not going to
you're
be
right.
looking at a kid and then tell them to think of their star sign and then go straight into telling them that they're a Libra and then going to tell, it's cool, but listen, they also don't have an attention span. The younger they are, they got no attention span.
All right, so let's do this little mentalist thing on me. How do we do?
Try. I don't know if I'm going to get this right.
No, we'll try. We'll try. No, we'll
100%,
try.
and that's the best part about it because if I hit it spot on, it's essentially pure magic, right? So let's try. So I want you to think of a number between 1 and 5, right? So let's start small. Think of a number between 1 and 5, and don't change your mind. You got one?
So I got a question for you. I can pick either 1 or 5, right? Between 1 and 5.
No. It's between 1 and 5.
So I can't. Okay, no, I have my number. I just had to ask a stupid question.
Yeah. So you see, that right there might give a few things away. So now I could be thinking, all right, I don't know the type of person you are yet fully. The only thing I do know is you have good energy. You're quick on your feet. I can tell that, of course. And because you asked me this question, now I'm thinking, would you be the person, if I would give you a deck of cards and have you think of a card, or pick a card, would you be the person that would think or pick a joker? Because a skeptic would do that.
Fucking A, this guy's pretty good. That was, honestly, I swear to God, that is 100% right. I would 1000% pick a fucking joker.
So knowing that, I would believe, because you asked me that question, I would believe that you wouldn't go for a common number like 3. I don't think you would. Right?
You don't. Wait, you don't think I would?
I don't think you would, but you might have. You might have. Did you go for 3?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to know something? I gotta ask you a question. How long you definitely had to study this, or is this something that you've picked up naturally? Like for me, I'm pretty good at reading energy, and I feel like you've been either you've been studying this for your whole life, or it's just something that's naturally a knack.
Look,
Like,
man, here I'll give you the answer to that question.
Okay,
I just recently got a phone call from the $1 million listing star Ryan Serhant.
Okay.
And they were selling a Tribeca apartment for about $7 million. They called me. They said, we're going to have developers there. A bunch of people are going to come. I want you to put on a show. Now, mind you, they didn't know. They knew I was doing good things. And they saw my website and all that, and they were fascinated. I mean, I got close to, I don't know how many, but over 160 5-star reviews on Google. I'm the most rated there. And they saw me. They wanted to hire me purely for entertainment. Then they realized that I actually can influence the people that would come, the brokers and and prospects. I can try to help to influence them buying the property. So, and I gave them the pitch on that. I said, here's what I can do. Everything that I'll do will revolve around the property. So what did I do? I'll explain to you. What I did is I had a bunch of people, and you can see this video. It's actually on YouTube. I had a bunch of people get in the group. I put on a 20-minute show. I had a lady walk to the kitchen and imagine cooking up a meal. And I asked her what it was, and she told everyone chicken parm. I had somebody look out the window and see a view, and there was, they had a view, but I asked him to think of the most ridiculous thing that he sees floating in the air over there. He said a pink unicorn or something like that. Then I had somebody else look up in the ceiling where all the I don't remember if it was the chandeliers or whatnot, but I had him think of something. He thought of glowing stars. Anyways, all of this was predicted already beforehand, like 15, 20 minutes before any of this happened. I already sent them an email with my iPhone, with my phone notes section, screenshot it, sent it to them beforehand. I told them, look, check your emails. Your emails were sent 10 minutes before. Well, they knew already. I told them I told them I'm going to send them an email and not open it. Don't open it yet, I said. Then I did this whole thing. They opened it up and they saw everything. They saw I actually had somebody open it beforehand, even though I told them not to open it. They always have those people. You probably be one of those guys to open it. He looked inside and he's like, holy shit, there's no way that they're actually going to think of that. And that's exactly what they thought of.
Dude, I love it, man. Mastering the craft is really cool, dude.
So naturally, so going back to what you were asking me, is it something that you're born with? Is it natural? Can you develop it? And I had after I did that, I had Ryan Serhant post on his Instagram. His Instagram he also has a vlog. He posted it on his YouTube where he has over 1 million subscribers. And he had, I don't know how much it was, but within instantly, he had 15, 20,000 views. And I mean the same day, within an hour or so. And I don't know what it's at right now. It could be over 100 grand. But point is that so many comments and people were like, well, this is insane. How do you do what he did? Check it out when you have a chance. But then I had a lot of people message me privately and say things like, man, how the heck do you do it? What is it? Is it the energy? Are you natural at it because you're so confident while doing it? And the truth is, it's personality. I'm tired now. I haven't slept in 2 days, but the point is that when I'm working, I got to make sure that I give in 100%. And
of course,
my personality plays in a lot into that 100%.
Definitely,
plays a
dude.
lot.
Listen,
because I've been like this since I was a kid. Without magic, without mentalism, without any of that. It's just naturally when I speak to people, I have some type of effect. And I'm very intuitive. I feel things. I feel things that other people won't feel. I have different signs. Instantly, I could be around somebody and feel something is off, and I just wouldn't be around that person anymore.
Listen,
I can't even explain why.
My girlfriend will get along with this guy. They're the same.
Before they rang the doorbell, I already knew exactly who it was. It's not a psychic feeling, but you can call it a psychic feeling, but it's more of intuition. That's pretty much it.
Right, yeah,
or just a pure genius, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to put it in that sense of form, I don't want to say it in that form.
Well, I mean, dude,
you're not gonna say
the guy is super humble. We can obviously tell from the way that he's talking. I at least I can. I really, for me at least, I've had that type of feeling, but in a different aspect. Like me, when I was graduating college, they had me teach a class on artificial intelligence, and I had to speak in front of 1,500 kids a couple times, and I didn't get scared talking about anything that I knew in and out. Nothing. And as long as you master what you're about to talk about, or what you're about to, as long as you're the master of your environment, you're truly blessed with being the orchestra leader and leading this symphony into whatever you want to do. I mean, for me, I decided that for me a podcast would definitely capture that, because I feel in a certain way, when you're talking to somebody, it's a very intimate conversation, and if you're able to bring it so that more people can get something out of it, that's a positive. 100% all the time. And I mean, you have that same exact, at least for me, you have that electric energy. And I'm honestly, are you stationed out of New York? For people that are listening to the show, how can we get in contact with you if we wanted to get a show or anything like that? Let's plug you a little bit. Help me plug you a little bit.
Well, I mean, look, my name is Alex Voss. That's Voss as Victor, V-O, Z as Zebra. You Google me, or you go on my website, alexvossmagic.com. Whether it's a corporate, private run, you get in contact with me or my management. And I do a little discovery there. I figure out what kind of event you have, what you want me to do, if it's just a general entertainment act, or if I have to customize a few things, if it's a corporate act or something else. I work with you, and I put together pretty much a standard agreement, and that's it. I go in, I blow everybody away. They never see anything like it, and I'm back over and over again.
Instagram
so
at
Alex Voss Magic. At Alex Voss Magic on Instagram.
That's your Instagram, right? You got a YouTube channel too?
I got a YouTube channel too. So the biggest thing with this whole YouTube channel here's something cool that I found recently. That the people that actually work and do a lot of events, the people that I know, and there's not many. There's more doctors out there than people who do what I do.
Sure.
I've learned that the people that have a killer Instagram channel with a million subscribers really aren't actually great in the field, and they don't do as many events. Because if you have the time to be a professional, we'll say, mentalist / magician, you don't have the time to be on YouTube.
Yeah, you don't have the time for social media shit. I get that.
I put some stuff up there. I recently made it. And Sean helps me out. Sean helps me out with coming to my events as well.
Yeah.
Doing the photos and videos to see if we can blast it.
And you're based out of New York, right?
I'm based in New York, but I do shows literally worldwide, everywhere.
As a third party, man, I was telling these guys before we got you on the call, Alex, that the reactions that I've seen at like some of the stuff, like they're just like completely like jaw dropped to the ground, like. Some of these people, like that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, it's great. Like it must be a great feeling.
There was an event where me and Sean were doing, and he was. I don't know if you remember this, Sean, but it was the video that you took where I went up to the table. It was a corporate event. It was in what was it? It was a Chateaubriand, I think it was.
Yeah, sounds
and
right. Yeah, sounds
it
right.
It was a corporate event, and I was at a table. I had a lady think of like any number, and then. I turned away. I was the other way. I was turning the other way. And then the waitress came by.
Yeah.
And the waitress just came by just to take the plates. You can see this on the video. It was straight. It was very impromptu. Nothing. The waitress came by. I turned around. Same moment. I looked at the waitress. I said, look, I'm not going to guess the number. The waitress will. I said, think of a number. That the waitress said 36, whatever it was. That's exactly the number that a woman at the table was thinking of.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So I plugged somebody else in there as well.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
That's so cool.
That reminds me. The moment I hear that, it reminds me of this movie called Focus with Will Smith, where he gets his girl to pick the guy 52 on the field. And the Asian billionaire was just like freaking out. He's like, "How the fuck did you do that?"
When you said that, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Nice.
They kept hustling, and she thought that he was losing, but in reality, you got him at the end.
Dude, and you want to know something?
Well, this is like Focus, but in real life, I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree. Listen, I don't want to take up any more of your time, but let's definitely set up something where either I can come out to you in the city, or you can come out to Long Island. And we'll do something, man. Obviously,
we're doing a lot of things right now. So something cool. I was supposed to have my own show on Broadway. It debuted. It was a one time we did a kind of like a debut. This was in June, early June.
Okay.
We did one show.
I love Broadway, by the way. Love Broadway.
They wanted me to commit every Wednesday.
Wow.
And unfortunately, again, I get booked in advance, way in advance. I couldn't commit every single Wednesday, and they were going to throw in a lot of money, PR and everything. And I said, let's hold it off. Now they changed it to Monday because Broadway is dead on Mondays. I'm going to be the only act on Mondays. Hopefully starting back in October. So that's one spot that I'll be performing where you can come watch me if it's public. But other than that, I don't do anything public. Everything I do is private.
Nice.
Okay. No, definitely.
Man.
Listen. We'll exchange information offline, and we'll definitely work something out. Listen, honestly, Alex, it was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time, and listen, good luck with everything, and you'll definitely be hearing from me soon.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Thank you. Well,
listen.
Good luck. Hopefully the podcast is great.
Dude, I got a YouTube channel if you want to check it out. I do bacon, egg, and cheese reviews. I'm pretty on point. I'm not as good as you, but listen, everyone's got to start somewhere,
No, stop it, man.
Listen, it was great meeting you. You have a great night, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Pleasure, man. Have a good night. Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Dude,
that was great.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna do whatever we can to get this guy here.
Yeah, it'll be fucking awesome.
I'm not gonna lie. We'll do a whole entire YouTube special. You know what was crazy is I started to think about it more and more, and I'm like, dude, this guy is he's a mental specialist where he is picking little things about you, and he's collectively
analyzing.
he's logically putting it together to build up something. You saw what I did. I put up 3 before he was even going to say 3.
Put your hand up.
And I did that on purpose because I wanted you guys to know that I wasn't like kidding around or fucking around. And dude, what I thought was the funniest part of that, he was like, "Someone like you wouldn't pick 3,"
Yeah.
and that's
No,
the
but he
But I
was
feel
like,
like-
but then he was
knew
like,
it.
but
he
he,
knew
but,
it.
but then he knew. He was like, it
Yeah.
was 3, wasn't. I'm
He
like,
knew, yeah.
listen, he's honestly a very good. I would call it almost a little bit of a deception expert because he can cut through the bullshit really quick, and that's really cool. And I'm excited that we got a chance to talk to him. He is definitely
two
not.
great guests tonight, man.
Dude, honestly,
Yeah,
tonight
two
was a
great
blockbuster
guests.
show,
Wow.
and I just want to, I want to thank you guys for
Dude,
being out here tonight.
Broadway every Monday. That's fucking unreal.
Yeah,
know?
everyone follow SiSi BEC on Instagram. About to go popping off on Instagram. About to
100%. That'd be great.
be, about to get some live going too.
Yeah, let's get some. Let's get some. Yeah, we'll start doing some live stuff.
You-
You know what? We're gonna.
You
We're
should
gonna
just pop it up right now, man. We should go podcast live at the end of this podcast. You're gonna see on Instagram.
I mean, yeah, we could probably rock something like that. Let's. You know what?
Yeah,
Let's.
he's gonna pull it up right now.
Let's do it
He's
real
gonna
quick.
go a little live. Maybe like 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
too long.
We'll do something. We'll do
But,
something small.
we'll just
We'll just hit live real quick.
yeah. So just
Yeah, here we go. Let's do. No, how do I do live on this bitch? We go here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it.
see, we got a noob over here, man.
Dude, I don't go live. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. All right, we're
Oh, it's
connecting.
3,
3,
2.
2,
Okay,
1.
it's over.
Live in the studio, and we're all in here, baby, with some art. We got everything going, and thank you so much, man. I really enjoyed doing this show tonight. We really did have
Yeah.
a lot of good
Two great guests. Shout out to
Great guests.
Steamrolla Frevola. Shout out to Alex Vaz Magic.
Dude, honestly, 2 great guests. Obviously, 2 different spectrums, and for me, it was definitely interesting. I don't even remember the last time I spoke to somebody that did like magic or
Oh, it's
illusions.
great, man.
Yeah, and
And
he
he-
seems
it's-
like
it
he's
like-
really good with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I was just going through his Instagram and like, dude, some
Like
of
a
this
real
shit.
professional.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
he's
100%
dressed, dude,
professional, man.
dressed
Always
to the
in a suit.
dressed to the T, clean shaven, looking like a boss, getting shit done. It looks like, and obviously, dude, some of the corporate events that I was just looking at, there's some no joke names. I'm not gonna
I mean,
sit here and
you're
plug.
doing well when you're on Broadway.
Well, dude, he's being offered
You know,
Broadway. He
but
hasn't
still,
taken the
if you-
deal.
But if you get offered Broadway, you know you're a
Definitely.
big deal. You know,
I
mean,
agree.
That's
100%.
big level shit.
Definitely,
100%.
man.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, well, listen, we're gonna end this show right now. This was CC's BEC podcast. Thank you so much for coming out.
mi fa sol la ti do ti la so fa mi re do.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.